Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The prayer today is about serving others. Father, allow me to serve others with a joyful heart, never keeping score, always giving, never expecting to receive. Allow me to give of myself, to give of my talents and of my goods, to give of my time and of my energy, to give of my heart and of my soul. Help me understand the needs of others. Allow me to serve others as you serve, with gentleness, compassion, and tenderness. Amen. Amy?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone wish to make a comment on an item that's on the agenda for today? Yes, sir. Please come up.
Howard, South Russell Village. I know it's an agenda items for the engineer's office. There's some money involved today. Where's the money coming from? Is it coming from the gas tax that's collected every year? Is it both state and federal tax? That's close to $20-some million a year. Can somebody tell me where the gas tax money is coming from to take care of the engineer's problems to building roads? Thank you very much.
Anybody else has anything on the agenda? Okay. Go ahead, Amy.
Okay. Moving on to item number 2. On April 23rd, I approved for maintenance the hiring of Aaron Chambers to the position of maintenance worker, which is number 1904, at the rate of $20.46 per hour. That's a grade 6, step 5, to be effective May 4th, 2026, with a 1-year probationary period. This offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions. On April 27th, I rescinded the motion from April 23rd, 2026 for maintenance that read, approved hiring of Aaron Chambers to the position of maintenance worker, number 1904, at the rate of $20.46 per hour, grade 6, step 5, to be effective May 4th, 2026, with a 1-year probationary period. The offer of employment was not accepted. And then finally, on April 27th, for Water Resources, I approved and executed the service contract agreement with Go Green Heating, Air Conditioning, DBA, Auburn Heating, Plumbing, and Air Conditioning to perform the HVAC and plumbing maintenance services, including annual preventative maintenance as needed at various wastewater and water district locations within the department for a 1-year period effective April 27th, 2026, in an amount not to exceed $16,500. The breakdown is $15,000 for wastewater and $5,500 for the water district. And that's all for item number 2.
Okay, thank you. Item number 3, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the minutes for the meeting of December 9th, 2025.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Good morning, Adrian.
Morning, Commissioners. Hold this here towards myself here a little more. People can hear me. Adrian Gorton from the Commissioner's Office. Today's financials include an appropriations transfer to the Sheriff for miscellaneous refunds, reimbursements, and web checks that were deposited into the general fund. Among other cash transfers, there's one from the general fund to Community Development for their second quarter 2026 operational commitment. Among the encumbrances are travels from the Auditor's Office to attend the County Auditors Association of Ohio Summer Conference in Columbus, Ohio, from the Common Pleas Court to attend the All Rise for Justice Conference in Nashville, Tennessee, and from the Engineer's Office to attend the Ohio Association of Public Treasurers 2026 Public Finance Officer Training in Sandusky, Ohio. There's also a then and now encumbrance from the Commissioner's Office to the County Risk Sharing Authority, Corsa, for an insurance deductible from 2024 that was not previously encumbered. There's also a purchase order from Water Resources to acquire a new 2026 Dodge Ram 1500 quad cab truck, as well as upfit it as an operations vehicle to replace a 2016 GMC Sierra that will either be traded in or auctioned, whichever is more. Among the vouchers are $252,977.25 from the auditor's ARPA fund to Shook Construction Company for payments related to the McFarland Creek wastewater treatment plant upgrade project, $35,306.18 from the Commissioner's Office to Infinity Construction Company for pay request number 33 of the courthouse expansion project, and $157,747.60 from the Engineer's Office to Bainbridge Township for $74,253.69, and Chester Township for $83,493.91 for their snow and ice control agreements from the 2025-2026 season.
I'll move to approve the financials.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Megan
Morning.
Erickson from the Commissioner's Office. I have items number 5 and 6. The Commissioner's Office is, requesting the board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the unemployment compensation service agency agreement between Geauga County and Sedgwick Claims Management Services Incorporated for unemployment services for the period of May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027, in the amount of $1,250. And the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the Workers' Compensation Service Agency Agreement between Geauga County and Sedgwick Claims Management Services Incorporated for unemployment services for the period May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027, in the amount of $9,500.
And Maggie, you can confirm these were approved by the prosecutor's office?
Yes, they
as to
were,
form?
yes, and certified
Okay,
by the auditor's office.
very good. I'll make a motion to approve 5 and 6.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Morning.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Kathy Hostetler, Commissioner's staff. I'd like to introduce Sherry Baboski. She is the the underwriting manager for Corsa. She's traveled up here from Columbus today. And this is Scott Landis, and he is our insured partners agent. And we are here to talk about the Corsa insurance program renewal and also items 7 and 8 to approve the invoice as well. So I'm going to hand this over to Sherry right now to talk about Corsa.
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning. So I am, as Kathy indicated, the underwriter manager for Corsa. We are a risk-sharing pool. We are a nonprofit that was formed to help counties in the state of Ohio self-insure, so to speak, within our pool. We currently have 74 of the 88 counties. And there really are only 5 more counties that would be a good fit for us. We don't want to pick up any of the metro counties because they have such a large exposure base, it would skew our numbers. So we've been in business going on almost 40 years now, and we appreciate the relationship we have with Geauga County. Scott, do you want to hand these out?
Yes.
Okay. So Scott is sharing with you our program update for this 26th term. Our program year runs May 1st to May 1st. And in the past couple years, we have talked a lot about what we were seeing with the reinsurance market and commercial insurance as a whole. And pricing has been just very high, getting higher. We're seeing a little bit of stabilization now in the commercial market. Last year, we reported a program increase of 12%, the year before 10%. So we are thrilled to say that this year our program increase is 5%. And there are a couple factors involved with that, but one primarily is that our managing director, John Brownlee, and our board had a vision of creating a captive. So Corsa has formed its own captive. And what that means is that we have pulled our pool exposure out of the global market and have put all the excess coverage into our captive. So the funding of the captive is based on just the Corsa members, not the rest of the world and what's going on within the rest of the world. So that was a big thing for us, and it has been a huge benefit to our members, again, with a program increase of 5%. Geauga County actually did better than our program as a whole. You folks incurred a 4% increase. So we look at last year's invoice. If you look on this sheet here, last year's invoice was $532,136. The next number, the annualized number of $555,627, is what last year's invoice would have been had we billed you throughout the year for all of the changes that you incurred. We processed 27 different changes, and that incurred an additional amount of between those two numbers. Just about half of that was the courthouse, increasing the value of the courthouse coverage when the project was finished. So Corsa, we retain the first $1 million of liability and the first $1.5 million of property coverages, and then again, we pass that on to reinsurance. The liability side now is within Orca. We market the property. We use a broker, Marsh. They're a global broker. They go out to the marketplace and shop for us. That is strictly what they do for us, and so we are comfortable that we are providing a program that is to the best benefit to our members because of that. We bill our loss fund, which for liability is the first $1 million layer, based on two things: the experience, your loss experience, the claims you've had, versus exposures. And you can see on this handout the exposure overview. These numbers are what we have billed your part of the program for. So you had an increase of a little over $32 million in property, and again, your courthouse project. You had $2.4 million increase in payroll. Payroll is used to rate the general liability and the professional liability coverages. Your autos and then the law enforcement stayed pretty much the same. We also reduced your invoice by the credits that are shown on the right. Each year, our board looks at the member equity that we have accumulated at the end of the year, and based on that number, then approves a dividend to come back to Corsa members. And this year, your dividend was $43,342. We also have our loss control incentive program, which Kathy does a fabulous job of working with, and you realized a credit from that this year of $11,913. So your invoice was reduced by $55,255 this year based on the dividend and then the loss control incentive program. We have a coverage enhancement in terms of our cyber. You have your $2 million limit for the cyber coverages. You are also eligible for Tier 1 in your ransom, which is the top tier, so good job with that. And then in terms of any other cyber initiatives that you'd like to do within your county, we do have a grant program that's shown on the lower left corner with a $5,500 benefit per member. You folks did utilize that last year, I'm pleased to say.
This year too, we have our application.
You've already done it?
in
Well,
play,
Kathy, you are on the ball.
No, that's IT.
And then in terms of our grant program, we also have monies available for those things you see on the lower right corner. And you did utilize a little over $13,000 for that last year. So you've had some money coming back to you, which is a good thing. Some of our members don't always utilize it. The other enhancement we did this year within our coverages is we typically have allowed our members to schedule the law enforcement equipment packages that are on the cruisers on our equipment schedule so that they can benefit from replacement cost coverage. Auto claims are settled on an actual cash value basis. This year, we just said that's crazy. What we are going to do is we are providing a $50,000 sublimit within our coverage so that if a cruiser is damaged, that we will, up to $50,000, provide coverage for the equipment upfit package at replacement cost. And then the rest of the auto would be settled on an actual cash value like we've always done. That way, you don't have to account for which vehicle has which package, and then it's taken off of the equipment schedule. You just automatically have it at replacement cost now. Scott, did you want to say anything?
The only
I
thing.
kind of took over, didn't I?
It's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Basically, if you have any questions on the allocations, I mean, if you look at line by line item, your increases were mainly property, and a little bit in the auto. But overall, everything else was pretty steady. Again, Corsa is the best program for small, medium-sized counties for insurance, because you basically are part of the pool, you're part of the ownership. They're a nonprofit, so they're not trying to make money for shareholders. So it's our best option, and quite honestly, the only other option is that small pool of 5 other counties that they're in. They're taking a huge risk, because one large claim within that small group is going to ruin their pool. So what you're doing is the most reasonable, in my opinion.
So there aren't any counties that self-insure or use another insurance model? It's
Well,
all
just the pool, or else the larger counties self-insure, so they're
The metro
doing it,
counties are
yeah.
all self-insured.
Gotcha. And then, what does this policy cover as far as, does it cover departments not under the commissioners?
Oh, yes.
And then do they reimburse us through cost allocation? Is that how that
I
works?
believe that there's a chargeback for that, correct?
That would be part of the expenses that the general fund incurs, that would be reimbursed.
Okay.
For the ones that pay us back.
Okay, so for, say, the mental health board or Geauga Public Health, boards that aren't under the general fund have their own boards, they would reimburse us for these costs, is that correct?
I would have to see exactly which departments reimburse us. There's only a handful of departments that actually pay us.
Okay, got it. And then, these are not questions for you, but more for Kathy. So when was the last time we got pricing from other vendors?
Yeah, I saw your email, and it's like, it was kind of hard to explain, because the county has chosen to be part of this risk-sharing authority. When was the last time that they went out to like a private for-profit insurance? I could not tell you that answer. I don't know the answer to that, but I would suspect and think, and after talking with other counties, it would appear too, and with talking with both of you, that a regular insurance company like Corsa under the Ohio Revised Code, that's who governs this program in CCAO. They don't even consider this an insurance company. It's a joint pool,
Risk-sharing pool.
nonprofit risk-sharing pool, of which we are partners and members in. So my understanding is that even if we were to go out and see what else is out there, they wouldn't cover the jail.
Yeah,
They
the
wouldn't cover
the
sheriff.
problem, if you go to a regular insurance, like a Travelers or a Chubb, they do not write law enforcement liability. So that portion of your risk, you'd be self-insuring. So overall, this is by far your best option. And even if you pulled that out and wrote something with everything else, these premiums are way below market average.
So what do townships or cities do that have law enforcement? How are they insured?
Townships are in a pool as well.
They're in their own separate pool?
And there are municipality pools out there. I'm not as familiar with them because I don't have to work with them.
Okay.
But in terms of marketing your program, in a sense, we do that for the reinsurance. The loss fund, the Corsa layer, is just member exposures and member experience. So we don't, there's really nothing to market. Our actuary tells us, okay, based on this data, here's what you need to charge to cover claims for the next year, period. And if we have money left over, that's part of what comes back as your dividend. if the reinsurance is the second part, that's the layers that pay in excess of the $1 million and $1.5 million on property. And as I mentioned earlier, we do work with a broker who went out to the marketplace because, we have a board of 9 who are all commissioners, and, they want to make sure that we are providing the best program for our membership. And every couple years, our managing director will go out to the commercial marketplace and say, hey, what can you guys do for us? And every year, it's the same. They either don't want to write it, period, or the pricing is many times more than what we're getting now. So, we do our due diligence just to make sure that we are presenting, the best option for our members. So.
Yeah, I just like to have multiple data points so that we can show to the taxpayers that this is the best option. And right now, we have one data point, and it's, $577,000 a year, which is a significant expense. And so, I'm kind of just have to trust you, this is the best option, rather than having options that I can select.
And Commissioner, I will tell you that in the almost 40 years, we have only had one county leave the program, and they came back in 2 years. So, for those, I don't know to what extent other members has shopped, but
Yeah.
we haven't had anybody leave other than that one time, and they came back.
Yeah, that's positive. I guess my other question is, have you talked to the different office holders, the different departments, and asked if they are happy with their claims coverage?
Well, I talk with them, some of them more than others, just on a basis because we're having vehicle accidents. And I have to say, I think the level of satisfaction from the departments is high. We've had some snafus here and there, but it's, mostly, is that a word? I'm just going to do that together there. But mainly, it's vehicle accidents and, of course, lawsuits that's coming from our prosecutor. We get a really quick turnaround. Corsa is on top of things as far as I enter, whenever I get a claim, a lawsuit, I put it right into their origami system with all the documentation, so all the players see everything at the same time. So, when you start it off right and it's on the right course, things get done correctly. They then assign the claim number, they come back to us and sign counsel, and so we're working with the prosecutor's office. A lot of vehicle claims, in particular with the sheriff's office, just by nature of what they do. And I'm so glad the county, probably 2 years ago, is when we said, we have to do something different with the vehicles, because you're looking at a vehicle and you're saying it's $40,000, but it has $35,000 worth of equipment, so that had to go onto a mobile list, which a lot of people worked on that. Everyone from the sheriff to our office worked on that. So I think it's been a good partnership, and like people tend to think of they're an insurance company, and I keep saying they're a reimbursing authority is what they're doing. Okay, so you give us all the right information. On the county side, we are doing defensive driving classes, where Corsa offers a big HR training, and we usually do that in the fall. And we get a really good turnout for that, and that's for everybody. That's not just for those under our hiring authority. So everybody benefits from that, and it's all prevention, risk management. That's
And the
what
HR
it all
helpline.
is. And the HR helpline, we've utilized that quite a bit in the last couple of years. And so we have free legal advice. They are very responsive. Yeah, well, yeah, free for 500. No, I understand what you're saying, but I think I can't imagine. I like the not-for-profit. I like the self-insured part of this. I think in listening to the spring meeting, listening to John Brownlee, I called Frank Hatfield and said, put that in other language for me. I don't understand captive insurance. So I do now a bit. And I think that's really innovative vision on their part to go out and say, hey, pretty soon we might not be able to get cyber insurance if we don't do other things and go forward and have other vision. So when have we gone out for a vendor? I don't know. I can't. But we've been in Corsa for 36 years.
36th Street. yeah.
Okay. Can you explain why there's not a competitive bid threshold for this?
Yeah, it's all under the Ohio Revised Code. I can even read it to you. I have a copy if you'd like it.
Just, if you can just say it in, plain language, explain to me like I'm a fifth grader why we don't have to go out to for
Okay,
bid
well,
on this.
sometimes I have to get it explained like I'm a fifth grader too, because it's insurance. But there is a part in here that says we don't, regardless of whether, let's see, I should have underlined that part. But it definitely is in here that we do not have to go out for competitive bidding. They're also exempt from all state and local taxes. Is that still correct? So, I mean, I think that's a consideration too. A joint self-insurance pool is not an insurance company. Its operation does not constitute doing an insurance business and is not subject to the insurance laws of this state. So I would suspect that they do say somewhere here, though, they don't have to do the competitive bidding. They don't even consider this an insurance company, really.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's a risk pooling agreement. I just would like an explanation for exactly why we don't need a competitive bid process for this. Just because the size of the contract is large.
It is.
Typically, we would need to get bids from multiple people and
Right.
go through that process.
I would agree with that, but it really truly is in here. It's just, I can, make sure I get that answer to you, but they just aren't under the same regulations and rules that a regular insurance company would be under. Because I have to be honest, you are asking questions. I knew you were going to be asking questions today. So I got a lot more information about this joint self-insurance pool, and it's really kind of unique. And this CCAO did it in 1987, I believe, is when they originated this. So why haven't we gone out for bids? We just haven't. I know you like options, but I think the options are
There isn't a
fairly
market.
limited.
What do other states do? Do they all have risk pooling
That I don't
membership-based
know.
organizations?
I don't know of every state, but I would guess that they do. I know that our affiliation with other organizations, like AGRIP, which is our national organization for risk pools, have members from all over the country in it, yeah. And there are pools, as I said earlier, not only just the counties, but for municipalities, townships, water districts. So any common entity can form a pool.
I think the 5% increase is acceptable, because the way the prices of everything is going up. And I know the history that when a roof, bad storm comes in and the fairgrounds, you took care of that. And then our maintenance building, a portion of it was covered by insurance, and it's being fixed as we speak right now. So, I really appreciate the pool, the consortium with the 74 other counties.
Thank you, sir.
I mean, what surprised me was when I talked with Sherry about why is it Summit, Star, Cuyahoga, why aren't they in it? And, because then I thought, well, I will call them, and see what's going on. And the answer was that they don't really want them in the pool.
No, we won't
They
bring
wanted
them.
to come in the pool, which, why would they? They're huge. I mean, I would, 1.2 million in Cuyahoga County, I mean, we're what, 98,000?
Well, and because we're a pool, everybody is sharing the risk. And if we bring in a metro county, their exposure is so much larger than, and they get an advantage.
You'd be paying for a bigger city.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
That seems logical to me.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my only comment is this expires on Thursday. So we don't really have an option. So I guess that would be my comment. We can't be uninsured.
So just for clarification, this motion is for 7 and 8?
Yes.
Well, Ralph would have to clarify that.
Yeah,
7 is just discussion, the presentation of the information. 8 is the actual action to approve the renewal.
Are you good with that, Ralph?
yeah, did you call for discussion on that?
Yes.
I think the only comment that I would have is that if you would take a look at is what, if you want to really look at just the reality of what we're paying, though the number sounds large, right? But I think that if you look at what insurance in the private sector is to insure the volume of dollars that we have just alone in this building, the sheriff's building, fairgrounds, the courts, my God, if you broke down what the square footage cost and what the per person cost is, I would love to have those rates for my business because it's a deal. And I just, you know, if you're really out there in the private marketplace, my goodness, it's and I've always looked at that, and I've always, you know, shook my head too in disbelief to say, you know, it's amazing that we have the amount of insurance that we have, you know, coverage that we have with what's there, because it, I know, like, probably 8 to 10 years ago, we did make a few calls when we were doing the, when we were researching all the buildings out at the, we're going to the fairground and going to do the comparison with all the buildings and some upgrades that they had done with electrical, if you remember that, Kathy. And we looked at shopping the prices also back then, and the initial shell shock of just the conversation. Most people didn't even want to touch it, let alone even be close to it. So I get it. The number is a large number, but the relationship and what you're getting, I mean, especially in today's day and age of everybody being so sue happy and everything going as it is, I think it's a deal. I really do, and I wouldn't motion on it if I didn't believe that. So thank you, and thank you, Kathy, too, for I know you put a lot of time into this every year. So.
And so does everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a joint, now the directors, the supervisors, you know, I can give out the information, but if they don't put in for the grant, or they don't come to the trainings, or they don't come to the
Right.
defensive driving, you know, and we have a good safety team too, who, again, risk management, trying to prevent before you have to pay, so,
Yeah.
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 Call the question.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes. Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is 9, 10, and 11.
Okay.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Shane Hajar with the Engineers Office, presenting items 9 and 10. The Engineers Office requesting the Board approve and execute unit price contract with Geauga Highway Company for the asphalt resurfacing of Messenger Road, County Highway 31, Sections B through C, in Auburn Township in the amount of $621,926.69. And the County Engineers Office requesting the Board approve and execute unit price contract with Roniak Paving Incorporated for the asphalt resurfacing of Mumford Road, County Highway 24, Sections E through F, in Troy Township in the amount of $499,749.
Do you have 11 too?
I do, I was going to do that separately for,
Okay, well, I was just going to ask kind of a global question based on our public comment, which is, where is the money coming from?
that's why I was going to do them separately.
Okay,
These two
perfect.
projects are locally funded with our road and bridge levy, so they're 100% levy-based projects.
Perfect. I'll make a motion to approve 9 and 10.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 11, County Engineers Office requesting the Board approve and execute unit price contract with Fetchco Excavating LLC for the replacement of the Pettibone Road Bridge, structure BR 0607-C-01.25-2026 in Auburn Township in the amount of $1,209,979.23. This project has a federal grant through the CEAO program. That's the County Engineers Association of Ohio. They have access to federal funding for infrastructure projects, and we applied for a grant. It's just over $1 million, so it's like $1,150,000, something like that. And so about 85% of this project is, or 80% of this project is funded by the federal grant. The other 20% will be paid out of the road and bridge levy.
I'll move to approve 11.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you. And item number 12, the engineer's office is requesting the board release the 33% maximum load reduction for all county highways and township roads in accordance with ORC 5577.07 to be effective April 28th, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Morning.
Morning.
Number 13, I think this is the third time I've been here on the same grant. It's because they piece it together, they have money left over from the year before, and they give it to us, and we'll take it. So that's what we're here to approve this for the Stop Violence Against Women's Act. I'm Scott Hildebrand, the sheriff, by the way.
You're the only person that doesn't need to introduce themselves when they come out.
I want to follow the rules.
Well, you're highly visible with that uniform.
Were you going to read it, or do you just want me to make a motion? No, that's fine. I'll make a motion to approve 13.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. Jessica Bolt, Director for Geauga County Department on Aging, and I have with me this morning Michelle Warren, our In-Home Services Manager. We have items 14 through 18 on the agenda this morning. First item, number 14, is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the addendum to the fuel card services agreement between Wex Bank and Sourcewell for Wex fleet cards for the purpose of purchasing fuel. The county does have a Wex Sourcewell government fleet card program that JFS currently uses. The contract has been in place a very long time, and I want to thank JFS and their fiscal department for getting with Dwayne Bidlack, our fiscal officer, to walk us through the process and connecting with their government liaison. What's wonderful is the Wex Sourcewell government fleet card program. It's a net 30 program, and it allows us to use about 95% of all fuel stations, which is quite the benefit since we have our out-of-county medical transportation program, our chore and home safety program, and our social workers that go house to house. Currently, we go to Centera, and, you fuel up there, and then they're kind of running all over Cleveland and, looking at the gas tank. So it's great. It's a net 30 program, and this will allow us to apply, and they will actually issue enough cards for our vehicles.
I'll move to approve 14.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Okay, and 15 through 18 is our favorite part. We just completed our employee evaluations about a month ago, and we wanted to recommend some merit increases for some exceptional employees in our department who've just went above and beyond. So if we could just take a moment to recognize them. First, Dwayne Bidlack, he is our fiscal and budget officer. He has done an exceptional job over the past year. Not only does he manage budgets for each of our own internal departments and help the folks at our senior centers, create spreadsheets for them, give them an individual budget so they can have autonomy over their own departments, but he has helped other departments within the hiring authority when they have maybe lost an individual who is managing their budgeting, or a new director help with their budget. And I mean, he's just went above and beyond, and such a great gentleman. He's managed more grants this year, so I just really want to recognize him for his excellent work that he has done. And I know Michelle has 2 employees she wanted to recognize as well.
Sean Strand, he's our current home safety coordinator. He is very professional. The seniors really enjoy having him. He works very well with the other departments, the other teams at Department on Aging. He works very closely with the social services team. They're constantly going to him for advice. He's very helpful. If he can do the job himself, he'll do it instead of sending it out to a contractor. If it's grab bars, railings, things like that, he'll just take care of it. So he's very financially, he's very smart in that area. And just all around very, very helpful. He's reliable and dependable. His attendance is great. So we really look to him as, he's a wonderful home safety coordinator.
Wonderful young man.
The next one is Chris Mackar. He is our assistant at the Chardon Senior Center. He is very engaging with the seniors, always looking for ways to, entertain them. And again, very helpful to the coordinator, Becky O'Reilly. He has an interest in all the departments at Department on Aging, so all the teams. So he's actually asked to schedule time to meet with us independently to learn more about, what home safety does, our medical transportation, the social workers. He has spent time with all the other, departments just to kind of get himself more well-rounded. So another very dependable, good employee of ours.
And Beth Oliverio, she's our information and referral assistant at the Chardon Senior Center. And beyond just being the front lines at the senior center, she is out on the floor. She is helping in any way that she can. And she is just one of those employees that is always asking, how can I help you? What do you need from me? And how can I be a team player? So we are just so fortunate at our agency to just have such wonderful team players. And we're requesting merit increases for these individuals for the exceptional work that they do.
I generally trust your judgment regarding, who deserves a merit
Yes, ma'am.
increase and not. But how do these increases impact your budget for the year?
Very minimally. Each of these is a one-step increase. So, I'm doing math very quickly here.
No, you don't need to give me a number. I guess I'm just asking big picture. You're still within your budget amount.
Very
for
minimal.
salary.
Yes, this is very minimal. Yes.
Very good. I'll make a motion to approve 15 through 18.
Okay.
Second. Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
All right, thank you
Yes.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning. I'm Gina Hofstetter. I'm the Director of Community and Economic Development. Let's see, I am item number 19, and I am requesting the board approve a merit increase for Elaine Malkamaki, our project manager, number 1411, from 2736, grade 11, step 3, to 2828 per hour, grade 11, step 4, to be effective April 27, 2026, payroll number 10. So that's a tough act to follow in the Department on Aging. She's got a large crew, and I think most of you all know, and probably most of the folks in here, I have a department of 2, including myself. Elaine has taken on some dual performance this past year and the year prior due to an illness with another staff member who we had lost at the end of 25. To say she goes above and beyond is an understatement. I mean, she has dove headfirst into the brownfield remediation grant for the Snavely project. Was all new, uncharted water for her. It's a $2.9 million grant. Pretty much her role is to manage the revolving loan fund, and the local revolving loan fund, and the CDBG allocation. So these grants are definitely above and beyond her job description at this point. And again, really just taking on the dual role of our office coordinator and handling the fiscal responsibility, payables, things of that nature, without ever complaining and never really being compensated. This is not the first time that that's happened for 2025. Again, it was happening in 2024 as well, as we were struggling with a staff member on leave. I'm super proud to say that she is a graduate of the Leadership Geauga class of 2025. That was something that I think was a little bit outside her comfort zone. She dove right in and she excelled in that, made a lot of great connections in our community, and I'm really proud of her for that. So again, above and beyond performance, which really proves that we maintain retention, of course, in our county and more importantly in community and economic development. And as far as budget is concerned, it is a one-step increase, which would absolutely be within my budgeted guidelines, especially
Yeah, I was
because we're down a crew member.
That's what I was going to ask. I know you're down a person. Are you planning on replacing that person? Or?
Yes, I would like to do that with, improving the structure of our team in our budget for 2027, which hopefully we'll be talking at the end of May.
Got it. I'll make a motion to approve 19.
Second.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
The only thing I would say is, you're in a kind of a similar position, similar to some of these other departments that, whether it's building, water resources, that has funding coming in too. So as far as, some of the grants that, I know the CDBG grant allows for a certain amount of dollars that come in strictly to be able to manage that. And, also with the revolving loan, you have dollars that are coming through off of the interest too. So it's this, my comfort feeling is too, is this is not a, full taxpayer based,
Certainly.
role that you're, that economic development plays, because there is a lot of other income source there that comes into the department, and I appreciate, your hard work and Elaine's also, so.
Thank you,
It's
thank
more
you.
than-
Yes, as far as program income, your brownfield demolition grant, of course, pays as well. The demolition site revitalization program also pays. At the end of the day, does it really justify all of our salaries? Most likely not. But these are all program incomes that, are working in our community. We've got more in the pipeline. We've got interest on the next brownfield grant. Actually, brownfield, one big project, which would be millions of dollars in our county, and then also the next round of demolition. So CDBG allocation is not a lot for overall comparatively. We're going to be at $274,000, but it yields about $50,000 to $56,000 in terms of program income. We of course split that over a 2-year period of time,
Right.
so it takes 2 years to manage that.
Right.
So, but thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Are those state tax dollars that fund those programs though?
But all of these are coming from the state.
Yeah.
Your CDBG allocation actually stems from HUD and federal level, then it flows to the state, and then of course to us.
So they're taxpayer dollars, just not local taxpayer dollars.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yep, for sure.
Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Absolutely.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? Craig Swenson, Job and Family Services Director.
Gina Schultz, Social Services Director. Allie Holzman, Recruitment Specialist.
Thank you for having us for item number 20. We're here asking the commissioners to recognize May 2026 as Foster Care Awareness Month. Having foster homes in this community is such a huge, important aspect of what we do in social services. I really call our foster parents earth angels because they really, really are. These people take, strangers, oftentimes going through a lot of trauma themselves into their homes, introduce them to their family, take care of them, are up with them in the middle of the night, doing really arduous, difficult things, trying to just help them settle down from a traumatic event. Having more foster homes and choices just enables kids to remain in a family-like setting as opposed to having to go to potential residential treatment or other more restrictive environments. Gina and her team, especially Allie, has done absolutely a remarkable job in her few years in this position. This may not sound like a lot, but when she started, we had 12 foster homes, and now we have 19. And if you think of a percentage increasement, not just in thinking of raw numbers, but thinking of a percentage increasement, especially, coming through COVID, coming through lots of difficult times, finances, everything that we've been just dealing with as a community. To have that increase during that time is remarkable, but it's also needs to be taken into consideration because oftentimes when you have foster homes that eventually adopt families, they don't become an option or they come off the rolls. And so to have that increase even in light of that is just absolutely remarkable. And I know she'll get into some of her statistics herself. I don't want to steal your thunder. But we also have a number of homes, and she'll talk about it, that are also being considered to add to that number. So it's just a tremendous thing that we do, that we have in the Geauga County community. Just an example of how we come together to help our own. And so I just very much thank the commissioners for recognizing this effort. Turn it over to you guys.
Yeah, so right now, I mean, we've done a lot over the past couple of years to really boost our recruitment efforts, which has shown in the number of homes we've been able to approve. And we've also kind of had the ability to meet one-on-one with these families. We used to do large group setting information meetings, but I've been doing individualized meetings now just to really kind of get to know these people before they even start the process, which has been really great. We do have 14 licensed homes, and then we also have 5 K-gap homes, which are kinship homes that are licensed as foster homes, so they can take their kin and also other people. Right now, we have 4 home studies going on right now, which is really great. Our worker, 5 is her max, so that's a lot at one time. And really, right now, we have 22 children in our custody, and 9 children on top of that are placed in either a kinship home or group home that aren't in our custody, but we're still working with them. So that is a decent amount with the homes that we have. We are also doing a 5K and 1 mile walk on May 30th to really, it's a time to get together for the community to thank our foster parents, as well as saying that we do need more foster parents, and really just to get it out there during National Foster Care Month. I think it's important to be out in the community and really just get everyone together and just open the door to communication about the topic. With that being said, while we have a decent amount of homes right now, most of our homes are geared towards younger children. So a very big portion of our homes are recommended for 0 to 5. We have a handful that are 5 to 10, and then we have just maybe 1 or 2 that are up to 12, and then we only have 1 that can take over 12 years old. So that is a very big problem that we have right now. So we really are in need of homes for teenagers. People are a little bit nervous about teenagers, but really, once they get the help that they need, they're not so scary. So we really are going to start looking to really target families that are open to teenagers. So that'll be hopefully my goal within the next year or so.
Yeah, one thing I also wanted to emphasize that, and I know my understanding is we have one home, is fostering doesn't just have to be, for extended periods of time. Is we can, and we'll take anything we can get, right? But really, even respite foster care is an option for families. And so it kind of makes sense if you just listen to what it is, but even for short-term periods, or even it may be for a dinner, or it may be just it's almost like a babysitter kind of situation, but we can do short-term foster care as well. It doesn't have to be, several months at a time. We'll take what we can get, and and that's a need as well. So
yeah, the respite homes really are to give the foster homes a break. Instead of the foster home to say, I can't do this anymore, I'm done, I want to be done, we can say, hey, what if we gave you respite for a weekend? Maybe we'll set up regular respite every other weekend. It gives them a break to kind of step aside from some of the concerns that are going on, take a breath, and then kind of be able to get the services in place that the kiddos need. And then, they can really see that this is something they can work towards. So respite homes, we are in need of as well, especially for the older population, because we can kind of use some of our other homes for the younger kiddos for respite if they're not having a full-time placement. But the teenagers really, we need some help with people that want to have teenagers in their home, which is a big ask, but even respite for teenagers would be really helpful, so.
And the only other thing I would say is, I know when we were talking about like the need for it, one of the benefits too, obviously, that we just haven't said is it keeps them in our community. And so we have, they have to be within a certain radius of our agency in order to be certified, and so it's going to keep them closer to home, possibly in the same school district, easier to have visitation with their parents to work on reunification. And so again, the more foster families we can have and covering like that whole age range, it does keep our kids closer to home and in our community, and so it just helps with the whole reunification process.
Yeah, that's one question I was going to ask, is if there's insufficient homes in the county, then where do these kids go? Do they ever go outside of the county?
They do.
Oh, yeah.
What are the options?
We have a pool of therapeutic foster homes that we look at, so we're obviously public. We can look to private agencies who do foster care, and that is if we don't have an appropriate home within our county, then we look at the private agency homes. A lot of times those are going to be therapeutic homes, which cost a little bit more money, but they have more training, more services. But sometimes we're reaching those homes when we don't need that therapeutic level, when we have teenagers and things like that. So that is where we're looking at, and it can be, really anywhere in Ohio that these homes are. So.
But we have placements in other states.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we have placement just going in New Mexico, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's an
adoptive home.
It's adopted, but I'm just saying, we try to find the best fit for these
Yeah,
kids.
we consider the location, obviously, but we also want, it to work out, and we want them to thrive in the homes that they are, so.
So if it's pulling on anyone's heart to be a foster family, what steps should they take? Or can you talk a little bit about, what makes a good foster family, and what's the first step to getting there?
Yeah, so really what makes a good foster family is someone who's open to having a child come into their home, open to all different ideas, all different behaviors, things like that, and loving that child as they're your own, but knowing that the ultimate goal is to get them back to their families. That's a really hard ask, but that is what we're asking of our foster parents, is to love them like your own again, and then also really be supportive and kind of like a co-parenting team to get this child or these children back to where they should be with their parents if appropriate. And then the first steps really is reaching out to me. Like I said, I do one-on-one information meetings now, so I talk directly with anybody who's interested, go through the whole process. So the first step really is reaching out to me, and then I can kind of work with them on what that looks like, and then go through what the rest of the process is in terms of training, home study, things like that too.
Okay, so how do people get a hold of you then?
They can reach me through email, phone. My phone number is 440-285-1205. That reaches me directly. I also have a lot of like QR codes out in the community, things like that, where they can fill out a form that gets directly to me as well. I have some flyers for the 5K that also has a QR code, and I also have my cards. I can leave that here if anybody wants them, just to reach me directly.
You got a Facebook page too, right?
We have Facebook, we have social media, which has been amped up over the past couple of years as well. So they can reach me really through all those avenues. It gets directly to me. So.
It's a 5K, it's a run, and then the 1 mile is a walk, is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
Just wanted to make sure I knew which one was modifying the walk with just the 1 mile.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then,
you could walk the 5K, we'll just be waiting.
Yes.
yes. And then does that go to the 501c3, the proceeds of or where do the proceeds go?
So essentially what we're doing with the proceeds is we're paying for the 5K itself, and also we're asking the company to make a donation in terms of gift cards for the children in our care. A lot of times kiddos who are in our care don't get normalcy activities, we call them, which is, going to the movies, going out with their friends. things that, you know, as a parent, you would say, here's $20, go to the movies. They don't get some of those things sometimes. So what we try to do is have gift cards available for them so that they can feel normal. They can go to the movies with their friends. They can go do things like that. They can go to Target if they want to buy something for themselves. Just those normal things that kids get. But when you're in foster care, you know, you have government funds that you're dealing with, and we want to be respectful of that while also giving them those activities. So we are asking that the company,
When you say the company, the race company?
the race company,
Got it.
correct,
Yeah.
they're making a donation with the funds to provide gift cards
Okay,
for
so
them.
it's like Hermes or whoever you're working with?
Run the land, yes.
Okay, got
Yep.
it. Cool. All right, very good.
Foster program is a very important program, and like you said, treat them like your own. My grandparents took care of foster kids.
Oh.
And even when the one guy went to the Air Force, when he came home on leave, he came to my grandparents' house, not his real parents. So it's
It's a connection, yeah, that you have for, hopefully for the rest of your life. It's another supporter. It's a family member forever. So even if they're not placed with you, that's what we're asking them too, you know? It's a lasting impact on their lives, so.
I'll make a motion to approve number 20.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Aye.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Nick Goris, Water Resources. Very simple task here. Requesting permission to advertise for equipment operator number 2353 internally for 5 working days. If no qualified candidates presently employed within the department, this position will be advertised externally. Our current or past equipment operator did leave and go to a different department. We took some time to look it over to see how to rewrite or to look at the position, whether we needed it, whether we were gonna contract it out, save us some money. We decided that we want to maintain it internally. We have all the equipment to do it, so we're looking to re-advertise.
I'll move to approve 21.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioners, I have items 22 to 24. So essentially, Max, who is our communications and media specialist, will be leaving us over the summer. I would like to ask to duplicate the position so that I can hire his replacement and not have a gap within the services that we're receiving as the county. Nothing changes, and then when Max does leave, the additional position would be abolished. So item 22 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve an increase to the number of positions of part-time communications media specialist, number 1333-1, from 1 positions to 2, to be effective April 28th, 2026.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
Item 23 is making an adjustment to our org chart, so the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the revised organizational chart to include the additional position of part-time communications media specialist, number 1333-1, to be effective April 28th, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
And finally, item 24 is asking for your permission to advertise. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board grant permission to advertise for the position of part-time communications media specialist, number 1333-1. This position will remain posted until the position is filled.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Item number 25, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the 2026 contract for the Great Geauga County Fair during the period of September 3rd, 2026 through September 7th, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spiller.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Yes.
Item 26, the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board schedule a special meeting at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 14th, 2026. That will include a work session to be held in the County Office Building, Room B303. So this working session will be geared towards talking about our efforts to empty 470, which will include the 4 entities that are currently in the building and any mitigation plans that we've worked up until this point to vacate that premise so that you can make a determination as a board what you'd like to do with the property. We'll also talk, the Opera House will be brought into it because it is a solution for some of the entities. And we may also touch a little bit on the tenancy of the old courthouse, depending on time.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote?
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Item 27, so I'd like to talk about the Ohio State Highway Patrol sobriety checkpoint. So we were contacted by the post commander. They want to use the 470 complex for a sobriety check, and this is a requirement for them to execute. They do this in concert with the sheriff and the Chardon Police Department. The last one was done at the golf course on 44, and it looks like, from what we can find, it's they've received verbal permission, so we don't have anything written the last time this was done. They are required, meaning the State Highway Patrol is required to submit their plan to the prosecutor, which they have already done. We did get some guidance from our APA, which basically says it's up to the board to decide if you'd like to do written or verbal approval. And we can ask to have the board added as an additional insured to the State Highway Patrol and Chardon PD liability insurance policies if you so decide.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask about the liability of having it there.
So we can have that added if that's something that the majority of the board would like to see done. He contacted me today, and I told him that I would bring it up during board discussion so that we could see where the majority of the board sits on the issue. So yes, that's what we have to
I think I would
discuss.
like to see that
It
insurance
added.
coverage personally. I mean, we're going to be dealing with drunk people on the property, so that seems like a liability.
And this is for short term, right?
Yes, it would be in the month of May.
And then if you have the liability and their insurance rider or whatever, I'd be okay with it, so.
Okay. Christy and I can work on that with the APA then and get that added. Okay, thank you.
The next item for board discussion is upcoming board appointments. We received a letter from the Geauga County Public Library regarding the position that is coming due the end of June. They made a request to reappoint that current board member. I'm just looking for an avenue, whether you wish to move forward with that or accept applications, because this is a 7-year term. The other one is the Board of Mental Health and Recovery Services. We will have 4 vacancies that will be coming due the end of June, and we're looking to do another press release to accept applications for those specific seats that will need criteria filled in accordance with the new changes of that board makeup.
I'd like to advertise for the library board seat. I think that appointment is an important power of the commissioners, and that we should just not give that away to the boards we're appointing to. Certainly think we should take their advice under consideration and reviewing the applications that they would like to have their current member reappointed, but I think we should give other members of the community a chance to apply.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing who's out there interested in, volunteering for the library, and then we'd have it on file in case somebody would up and quit or, resign or whatever, so. And then the applications would come to us? Okay. I'm okay with that.
Commissioner Spudler?
Yeah, that's fine.
Same thing with Board of Mental Health then, to do the press release and then look for applications too. There's 4 seats that will need to be considered, and they have specific criteria that has to be met. So we're looking at accepting applications through June 10th. They would come to the office, and then they would be sent to all of you for review, and then to try to get that appointment made before the end of the month.
And then are there also state appointments due for?
The state appointments, they would be advertising on their own. My understanding is that they leave their application up all on their site regularly. They don't take it down to accept applications throughout the whole.
I just wondered how many people were up altogether. Is it like one or two, or if you don't know, Christie, it's all right.
Let me look really quick to see if it's in here. It's changed with a new.
I know there's at least one that's up, right, because we appointed somebody for that short-term position because they took a short-term position on the state instead of the county.
I'm not sure whether the state, that was a short-term position on
Oh,
the
I
state
thought it was.
side.
I could be wrong.
It was only our position that was
Okay.
short through the end of June. It is through the end of June. It is a short term, so they will
Okay.
also have to fill that seat
So
as
there's
well.
one state position, so there'll be, so I mean, that's good for anyone
Because
that's
the other two
interested in the
state are
board.
through June of '27.
Okay. There'll be four county appointments and one state appointment for that board. Okay, got it.
Okay, I will reach out to Chris from the library and get a press release going on getting those posted, so we can get them all posted on the website together.
Okay, I have nothing further for board discussion. Anything else from the commissioners? Okay. Okay, moving on to item 28, public comment. Those wishing to make a comment or ask a question on matters of concern, please raise your hand to be called upon, beginning by stating your full name and township or municipality, and you have up to 3 minutes to comment or ask a question, and are kindly asked to refrain from disorderly or disruptive conduct.
Doug?
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
My name is Douglas Lundblad. I'm a resident of Hamden Township. Commissioner Brakey, I'm here to address statements made on your official campaign for Commissioner Facebook page regarding April 10th, regarding Steve Olowich, candidate for body of this, a candidate for this body and a fellow veteran of mine. The statements were inaccurate and deeply inappropriate. They unfairly questioned character and conduct of a retired, highly decorated Army Lieutenant Colonel with 27 years of service, including combat service, as well as his proven record as Dean at Lakeland Community College and as former Director of Water Resources. He is also active, continuing active in supporting local veterans through the Chardon VFW and the American Legion. I am currently serving with Steve on the board you referred in your post. The claim that he has concerns about his behavior is simply untrue. In all the time that I've known Steve, which has been the past 12 years, I have never seen him lose his temper, act unprofessionally, or make anyone feel unsafe. That allegation does not reflect reality. Public office carries responsibility, especially when criticisms come from a sitting commissioner using an official platform. Campaigns should be about policy differences and qualifications and not unfounded personal attacks. This type of rhetoric undermines public trust and discourages good people from stepping forward to serve. Many in this county know Steve for who he actually is, a community servant, a mentor, a veteran advocate, and a volunteer. I am also a combat veteran. I served 27 years in the United States Army, retiring as a Sergeant Major. And I recently completed 5 years as Geauga County Veteran Service Commissioner. Integrity matters to me, leadership matters, and character matters. Steve has constantly demonstrated all three. He continues to live by the Army's 7 core values: loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. Those values do not end at retirement. They define a lifetime of service. I respectfully urge this board and the community to hold ourselves to that same higher standard. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Douglas Lundblad, Sergeant Major, United States Army, retired. That's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Not to interrupt, but I think the new policy allows one public comment per meeting.
Yeah. Howard had his phone.
Yes, he had a public comment in the first session.
Well, that's two different.
The way the public comment policy is written.
Two separate times.
The way the public comment policy is written.
It's back there.
Can we refer to the
have a copy.
policy?
Sure.
Thank you.
Twice or not.
We'll wait for clarification.
I commented on an agenda item.
Yeah, the way it's written is one public comment period per person.
I don't have it in the version that I have.
It's on the top of the back
Oh,
of this
top of the back.
version, and this is the one that was done in February. It says, each commenter will have up to 3 minutes to address the board. Each commenter may speak once per meeting during either public comment period. Commenters may not reserve, accumulate, transfer, or assign unused speaking time within a comment period between comment periods or to another individual.
That clarifies it. Anybody else for public comment?
Howard, South Russell.
Motion to adjourn.
We just read the clarification, so.
Motion to adjourn.
No lack of crap. $2,300,000
Motion to adjourn.
was spent on transportation.
Can I get a second?
This time, and we don't know where the money comes from.
Yeah, we need to
Okay.
have, like, this is a business meeting, we have to
Is
have
there
some
a
order.
motion on the floor?
Yes, I had a motion to adjourn.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Meeting's over.